welcome back to East Coast Wagering. Well, week 1 of Saratoga is in the books, and as usual, we have some big surprises and some nice payouts. A couple stats from week 1. The average win payout was $13.50, which equates to about 6 to 1. The largest of the individual race payouts was $89 to win on Winter Sun Thursday in the 5th race. After the first week, the top jockey is Joel Rosario with 7 wins, and we have a tie in the trainer leaderboards between Chad Brown and Christophe Clement for top trainer with 4 wins apiece. Week 2 kicks off with a Grade 1 steeplechase race and ends later in the card with a minor stakes race in race 9. I don't think that this particular day of the meet has the same quality fields, and some of them are smaller in size as we saw in the first 4 days of the meet, but I'm still going to provide my selections. So let's take a look at the picks for Wednesday, July 20th. I'll start with the aforementioned steeplechase race. It kicks off the card in race 1, and they go 2 miles and a 16th on the turf. I love these long distance races over the jumps. I think that they're interesting to watch, and I'm going to throw a little bit at it. Even though there's only 7 horses, I don't think there's a whole lot of value in here, but I'm going to give it a try anyhow because it's fun. My top selection I'm going to go with in this race is the number 7, Iranistan, who won 2 straight prior to having a bad jump last out and not completing the race. I think he'll be close to the pace set by the number 3 Pistol Whipped. I'll make that 3 my second choice and throw the 6 in third. I don't love this race, as I said, from a betting perspective, but these steeplechase races are fun. And one thing to note, this race is not included in the early pick 5. The first 4 days of the meet, we did see that race 1 kicked off the early pick 5. On this particular day, that starts in race 2. The other stakes race on the card is in race 9. It's the Suzie O'Cain Stakes for state-bred 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the dirt. And like the first race, we don't have a very large field here. We only have 6 in this one, but I do like a little bit of a value play here. At 8 to 1, my top selection is the number 2 horse, Dufresne. Dufresne finished 3rd in a non-winners of 1 other than allowance race in her last, where she was a bit more forwardly placed than most of her previous tries. She does stretch out to a route for the first time, and I hope to see her revert back to her closing style. The inner turf course does seem to be favoring horses from off the pace based on the small sample size of the first week. If that holds, I love the value we're getting and will bet her to mow them down late. I will include the number 3 Lisa's Vision and the number 5 Shiza Mia as my second and third choices. My best bet of the day is in race 10. It's a 5.5 furlong turf race for maidens, and the horse that I'm selecting is the number 3 Super Quality, who looked much improved with the switch to the turf from the dirt. In that last race, he stalked the pace setter through fairly quick fractions, took control at the top of the stretch, but could not hold off one of the closers late. I think that was a great first try on the turf, and he could move forward off of that. If he does, I like him to get the win. He will have to contend with the early speed of the number 6 Blinding Light, who was close in his first attempt as well. That, though, was on the dirt, and he tries the turf for the first time. I will include him as my second choice and add the number 4 Rugged Union as my third. However, I believe this race is wide open underneath, as many of these have never tried the turf. So I plan on keying the number 3 and trying to get some prices underneath to fill out my trifecta. Obviously, with the smaller fields, it is more difficult to find horses greater than 10 to 1 that I can provide as a value play. However, I do like 3 horses in my top 3 for their given race at 8 to 1, and in a smaller field, that does offer quite a bit of value. I want to avoid picking horses over 10 to 1 just to include my value plays if I don't think they have a legit shot. Every horse that I've given as a value play so far, I do think has had a chance of hitting the board, and that's why I typically give my reasons why I think they could possibly hit top 3. The one horse on this particular card that I do like at higher than 10 to 1 morning line is in race number 2, the number 6. Baby It's Gold Outside is 12 to 1 and is worth looking at if she stays around those odds. She will be forwardly placed, but she should stock some of these since there was a lot of speed in this race. She did finish 3rd in her last race, but that was well behind the winner. The cutback in distance may help, and if she can rate effectively and let the other speed types go at it, I think 12 to 1 is a very nice price on a filly that could hit the board. Of the 3 horses at 8 to 1 morning line that I like to finish in the top 3 in their given races, I had already mentioned one in race number 9, the stakes race, with Dufresne, the number 2 horse. I'll also include the number 9 Rent Control in race 3 and the number 9 Libretto in race 7. Rent Control will be on or near the lead early and should only have to contend with the number 3 White Hot for the pace. I think that horse is cheap speed and that Rent Control can sit close or let that one go if she goes too fast. The small cutback to 5.5 furlongs should be beneficial as well, and in this wide open maiden race, I think she has a chance. In the other 5.5 furlong turf maiden race for fillies, race number 7, the number 9 Libretto cuts back to a sprint for the first time, but has been close at the longer distances in all 3 of her tries. She will likely get overlooked here in this race, with a few that have been close in sprint races particularly, but I think she has a chance with the cutback if she can keep the speed horses in range. And here are my selections for the remainder of the card. Well, those are my selections for Wednesday, July 20th. And as I said before, I don't really see a whole lot of value on this particular card. I gave you a couple value plays that I like, and I'll probably focus most of my wagering around those. Most of this card, I'm probably not going to have too much action on. Maybe I'll try a small pick 5 or maybe pick 4. But with these small fields, I'm going to probably look further towards the weekend in some of those cards. This is Jeremy Pielmeyer for East Coast Wagering. Thanks again for watching my video, and I'll see you again soon.